Hello and welcome to Proverb Minutes. Let us then examine Scripture to strengthen our souls and invigorate our spirit. Here, when we go into James, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and comes down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow of turning. Of his own will he brought us forth by the word of truth, that we might be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. And I love about the Bible is that it repeats itself, so there's a clarity, abounds throughout the word. So then, my beloved brethren, let us every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, for the wrath of man does not produce the righteousness of God. And when we break this down and look at it clearly, look at this. Every perfect gift comes down from above. And the Father of lights. We've gone through that he is the creator and the origin of light and life itself. And that the image of the Spirit inside of us is the light of God itself. There is no turning. There is the equality of it all. He doesn't change. His presence is eternal. And his truth is unchangeable. And by his own will, yes, he brought us forth. And by what? By the word of truth. That the word was spoken and creation became. And yeah, it's symbolic, it's metaphoric. But if we have open hearts and see the truth of God, it helps our hearts rise past the quagmire of man and all the deceptions that go, no matter whether it's in business or religions. Where is it that man doesn't fall short of rendering those things that are due God, the glory, the power, the presence, and here that we might be the first kind of the fruits coming out of his creation. And he's telling us by this word of truth, he's calling us back and telling us the things that we need to know to be who we can best be. And isn't that we come back to him and be swift to hear. And what is it to be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath? It's to be patient, isn't it? Isn't that one of the hardest lessons in life? Is to be patient with those that are close to us? I think that we can all agree that we've lost patience. And there's not one of us that can lie about that. If you do, then yeah, you're a phony person, very shallow, probably exalted. I call them cloud dwellers. The people that rise above others, and instead of having concern and care to help one another, they're only interested in their own selfish desires. And slow to speak, boy, are you thoughtful, or do you just blurt out and attack anybody and everybody that seems to be your whim of the moment? And what a shame that is when we exalt those kind of people. And slow to wrath, well, we don't see that too much in life, do we? With the quagmire that's out there yelling and screaming at one another and dropping bombs and shooting missiles and drones of destruction. God is calling out for calm love. And that's where we need to return. I thank you for coming to Proverb Minutes. I make these things so far in advance. Let's see what the next button does. Yeah, it is the righteousness of God. And this is exactly what he declares who he is. He's patient. He's thoughtful. He has calm love. And he asks us to have the same. Isn't that the blessing? The gift of God, that we can see these truths. Now the problem is the application, the implementation. Can we actually become better than who we are for the benefit of not just ourselves, but those in our lives that we love and we care for? Because it's God that's given us this light to live. The clouds are the dust of his feet. Look at this wonderful scripture I love. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, it says it again, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord will have his way in the whirlwind of the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. I love that. The clouds are the dust of his feet. And he watches all of us to see who we will become and how we treat one another. And more importantly, how many big stars, people that get fame and rich, they just have a lot of despair in their lives. Their hearts are heavy, holes of darkness, because they haven't found the light of thankfulness, the gift of God to give back instead of taking all the time. Well, let us return to God and give those great thanks to him. Thank you for coming. Let's see what we do on the next button. Oh, he is slow to anger. The equalities of truth. The Lord will have his way, because the clouds are the dust of his feet. So look at the power of God. Look at the power. And what a great glory that is. When we have such a great God that will rise above the occasion of man's quibbling to give us a deliverance with the truth. And we find that in his word. Thank God.